trainer for the youth exchange that took place in Spain.
Now 30 days is like, today is exactly I think 1 month since we finished our training in Spain. And like 30 days is, I think it's not enough time to take concrete action. And like, being that I come from the private sector, like it's tough to take, let's say, substantial action. And like we can see also in this room, it's mostly civil society and NGOs. Like, so climate action is your, let's say, full-time thing. But one small thing that I'm proud of that like I took part in, which plays into like climate action, is this training we held with another civil society organization, with BGF, which is not like, let's say, related to Fast Forward, but Fast Forward like affected the training substantially, because in the training in Spain, like we learned a lot about sustainability, the SDGs, intervention logic, and numerous, let's say, tools, methods, and how we actually, let's say, prepare about taking climate action. And then I sort of like integrated this body of knowledge into the training, which was mostly with.
I'd say that we didn't face much challenges because every partner contributed equally, and the responsibilities were shared among all of them, and we were really active on each of the goals that we had set since the beginning. Regarding youth participation and engagement, I've seen very active youth, and yes, we did face one challenge on selecting youth.
That was the hardest part.
Yes, because we didn't know which one to give the opportunity and which not, because we had so many good applications, and I'm really happy that at the end of each activity, as you mentioned, I've also been there physically in some of them, and sometimes even though we apply some monitoring and evaluation mechanism, what's really important is seeing all those faces at the end, happy for the experience and sharing all the knowledge that they gained throughout the process. So I'd like to thank all the partners for their contribution for the organization, as well as selecting such active youth, but also the trainers who provided their expertise. But most importantly, I would like to thank all the youth that were part of this project, because they are the ones who really made it successful.
Thank you, Gonja, for a question. Përshëndetje të gjithëve. Hello, everyone. I was part in Alicante, Spain, and it was an amazing experience. I have to mention the youth who engaged in this section for the environment, because I live with a question, with a quote, environment needs us and we need the environment. Also, I'm happy to see the youth to engage in these projects, because nowadays some youth wants to participate in the events who wants in their fields, in their work fields, or when they want to get their funds and to use for their money or other things. In my case, I have I have participated in so many projects for the green sustainabilities, and I have implemented 2 of my projects in Tirana, because the youth has this problem, because they have idea, they have everything, but they don't implement the final product, and this is the problem. But I have learned from the Alicante experience to get so much information and to get so.
Thank you for the question, and thanks again to our hosts for having us. I'm probably the black sheep of this panel, and maybe all 3 panels, because I'm not really an environmentalist by vocation. My educational background is in psychology, so I'm going to attempt to answer your question as a psychologist would. The reason youth exchanges are so effective at converting people to the cause of environmental issues is because your childhood years, your teenage years, and your early adulthood might be the only time in your life where you can be reliably converted to the cause. And it's that much easier when you have people from different cultures to help you. why this is the case. One thing I do know about environmentalism is, in Europe at least, the level of eco-consciousness of a population of any country is directly proportional to the GDP. In most cases, the more money people have, the more they care about the environment. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but it's primarily because they can afford to care. When your basic needs are taken care of, it becomes a lot easier to think about abstract problems like the ozone layer, climate change, and whatever else. But when you live in a nuclear family of 3, with an average monthly income of 400 or 500 euros, which is the reality for a lot of people in the Balkans, it becomes a question of, will I survive, so to speak, to see the next month? And when you have to live paycheck to paycheck, it becomes a lot more difficult to think about things like the environment. But the good news is, when people are young, they generally don't have to worry about things like these as much. They can afford to be idealistic, they can afford to dream, and they can afford to try and change the world with their actions and with their dreams. And if you talk and collude with people from different cultures, you might get a good idea of how, let's say, more developed countries have handled climate and environmental issues.
Well, you have to, first of all, when I went through like different projects, I break the ice, and I remember that I was at the start kind of shy, and I had problems with public speaking. And also in the projects, you have opportunities to go in the front of the people and to speak. And you should use those chances and to speak up in front of the people, because also right now I think everybody has a little bit is a little bit concerned if he or she will make a mistake like this in the panel. So like youth activists should make on their skills of communications, because it's really important, because when you go in front of the people and you start speaking, you will see on them and on their body language if they are listening to you, and that's a really good point. And also, you don't need to be an expert to talk about something. You just need information. You have to listen to speak the truth. You don't need to be some like expert, like doctors in something, but you just have to learn to speak and to share informations, and not to share disinformations.